Welcome to the Art of Dress Style Profiles. Today I'd like to profile the true natural. As you know, I've been doing a series of style profiles, and I'm going from one type of style to another, and the type that I'm working through is I'm doing a fabric style, a line style, and an ornament or design detail style. And so today, this is Arlenis Sosa, a true natural, and this is a line style. So in terms of what that means, that's what mostly I'm going to talk about today. But every style is another thing besides focusing in on one of those aspects of design. And that is, every style has an element of style: fire, air, water, or earth. And that has a big impact on the style, especially understanding the style. So the true natural is an air style. And the true natural then, on top of being an air style, which means that it is always relaxed and kind of like a little bit easygoing, make it look simple, don't look like you tried too hard. In the same token, the true natural has its own inspiration that no other style has. And the style inspiration for the true natural is summer. So I love this picture of this image of Arlenis Sosa because it looks like she's covered in leaves. And the soft texture of the leaves is one of the key components of summer. And it helps to understand what summer means, because you can always imagine a gentle breeze ruffling those leaves and the textures everywhere because everything is leafed out. And on top of that, summer is a time of like sort of nature relaxes and everything is in bloom and things are more laid back. There's lots of light. The days are warm. The nights are very soft, and things are fruiting and blossoming around us. Food is usually cheaper, and we don't have to wear like clothes for the cold. And even except for, I suppose, hurricanes, for the most part, the weather is also less of a problem. Everything is so happy. And that is the inspiration of the true natural style as embodied in Arlenis Sosa. So I just love this image because it shows so many things about the true natural style. But let's start with one of the most important ones, which is the style focal point. And if you notice that the feathers of the skirt are set into the skirt below the natural waist, and that place, that line that you see there where the join of the bodice and the skirt is happening just below the waist, that is the focal point of the true natural. So this outfit just hits it slam on the nose. And then another thing about it is that because her focal point is below the waist, you're always looking for the design interest or the primary design interest to be below the waist. And in this case, the feathers carry it, all of the interest, or most of the interest, and so it's very effective. And then again, this is a style that wears separates. Now, the separates do not have to be red and green worked together, but there has to be, or should be, a clear demarcation between the top of the silhouette and the bottom of the silhouette. And it's best if that division happens at her focal point, which is what happens in this dress. And so the final thing that I just wanted to say about it is that in several ways it shows how very narrow or alpha the silhouette is. This has nothing to do with anybody's weight or bone structure. It just means that the garments look best if they're fitted close to the body, close to your body. And so here you see a very fitted top, and even though the skirt is made of feathers, it's still a narrow silhouette. And the narrowness of her silhouette is picked up again in the straps around her ankles. So that's perfectly in keeping with her style, and it works extremely well. And then she has a rhythm set up between the narrowness of the cording at her neck and the narrowness of the straps at her feet. So it's got rhythm of ornament going on as well, which is another aspect of her style. So I could hardly find a garment that more clearly depicted the really conforming to the body or the alpha silhouette of the true natural than this amazing dress. So it has a lot of other things besides really showing the narrowness of the silhouette. And one of them is the horizontal stripe done here in a textured lace. And it has the exact kind of body that she looks for, which is to say soft, but still holds its shape. And in addition to that, because of the way the short that's built into it, I assume, is strong, like a bigger expanse of fabric, it shows strength in the lower half of the torso, which is her focal point. And then finally, it's the way that the design changes from the two different kinds of horizontal line there is also really effective for the true natural. You know, a stripe is okay, but this is even better because it's softer. Here you see another aspect of the softness of this style, and that has to do with her neckline. Her neckline, the neckline for all of the Air styles is a scoop. And in this case, this is a very low scoop. She doesn't always wear a low scoop, but it's still really effective. There are other things going on that are really good here too. One is the narrowness of the strap. As I already mentioned, the narrow strap actually has to do, actually is in keeping, it's harmonious with the alpha silhouette and narrowness of everything. Then again, in the design of her bodice, of the top, you can see, first of all, differentiation side to side. This is a key part of all line styles. And in this case, there is even kind of a keyhole, a half keyhole between the two sides that divides them even more clearly. So, and of course, ivory as a background color, you're going to see a lot of ivory on Arlenis Sosa here because it's her prime neutral and looks just amazing on her. Again, ivory. And now we come to the sleeve, amongst other things, but first the sleeve. So this is the line that you see for her sleeve, her pant leg, and her skirt. And in this, there's two ways to do it. One is if she has a full-length sleeve, then it opens out in a slight flare at the lower part, at the midpoint of her lower arm. And when it's a short sleeve, she has a choice. She can just wear a fitted sleeve, an alpha sleeve, or she can have this little flare, but you can see how good it really looks. And then another thing that's happening here is that she is wearing a two-piece outfit, and what makes it look two-piece is the fact that the design of the crochet is different on the top and on the bottom, and the design is stronger on the bottom. It's larger and has more impact because of that. And so for that reason, it's drawing the emphasis below the waist, which is where she wants it. Here you see the same line in the skirt. And now again, she could do it with basically a straight skirt, or it could be short or could be down to the ground, in which case it would flare out at the midpoint of her calf. Or she can do it this way, but you can see how cute it is to do it this way. Just adorable. There are other things going on here that are beautiful. You can't really tell, but the skirt is light orange and the top is darker orange, so there you've got the separates. And another aspect that shows the separates is the way the trim on the sides is actually opening out once she hits her focal point. So it's marking the focal point at the same time, but it's also differentiating because it's showing something along the sides that doesn't exist in the middle. So it's dividing the silhouette in half, as I mentioned. And then it's providing lovely texture, not only with those beads, but also with the little fringe that's at the bottom of the top, as well as on the skirt. So many things that are just wonderful for her. And then rhythm of ornament as well, because you can see that the shoes, they're really a sandal, are picking up on the kind of texture that's in the the top. I can't tell if that's a vest, but it looks to me like it's incorporated into the garment. Obviously, a vest could be used to do the same thing, but it looks amazing. So here you have an example of why Arlenis Sosa is so always in demand for just the simplest of garments, because she can make them look so good, like a style statement, but it's part of the true natural archetype to be able to do that. And in this case, you see the boot cut, so it's flaring out just at the midpoint of her calf. And then she has clearly separates. They're both in soft colors because that's her coloring. And her top, in fact, is in her prime neutral again. And then it's really softly textured, and at least the way the picture is taken, the top ends at her focal point just below the natural waist. So just adorable. This is a very clear depiction of another way of differentiating side to side, and that is with the sleeve. And you see the clear distinction in the sleeves from one side to the next. And so anytime the sleeves are different on one side than the other, that's another example of side-to-side differentiation. And in this outfit, you also notice a few more things that are interesting. The narrowness of the strap because of the really alpha silhouette, one of the two most alpha. And then she's strengthening the focal point with the chain belt at her waist. So cute. This is a different version of side to side, in this case, the one shoulder. And you can see that one shoulder, and I also mentioned before, one sleeve. These are both aspects of the side to side differentiation, and the line styles really own this. It's so good on them, and it just is fabulous. Another thing about the way that the True Natural wears separates, because the True Natural is a style that uses rhythm of ornament as part of their principles of style, you can see here that the distinction between the two colors is actually softened by the print. It's a very low-key print, and you can see that little bit of white that's in the print of the top and the bottom connects the two of them. So it's not really a stark contrast going on. And the fabric is, the print actually adds a little texture to this fabric, sort of a suggestion of texture, which otherwise wouldn't be textured enough for her, but it looks great. I love this picture because not only are the colors so soft, and she is one of the styles that wears very pale. Her colors are soft to begin with, but she wears the pale version, and that depends on style. And then you also see a really clear depiction of the ability to wear fabrics that do not relate. And I call that fabric harmony because I had to make up all kinds of names for things. So the lack of fabric harmony here with a kind of a medium heavy denim. She wears medium weight fabrics, so it's pretty good. And then the skirt of this really soft gauze. And the two fabrics have nothing in common. They don't have weave, weight, finish. They're very different. And but they look amazing together on her. And so this is really lovely to see her doing that. And of course separates. And here's another outfit of separates that again is using very different fabrics that have, no fabric harmony whatsoever. So the top is like a woven kind of like, almost like a heavy crochet almost. And then the bottom is like a little bit of sheen to it, but it's a sort of a flat finish fabric, and then the stripe in it gives it a little bit of texture, so it works for her. And then the colors are a little bit connected because the ivory of the top, or it's really a light beige, I guess, is a little bit reflected in the skirt. Anyway, clear separates, lack of fabric harmony, and another version of the rounded neckline, of her scoop neckline, but this time up at the throat. So cute, just adorable for her. This is a more elegant dress, but it obviously has a couple of things that give it a really strong air quality besides being wonderful for her particular style. So the fabric is soft enough that it is quite fitted to her body, and it never looks overly fitted because she's such an alpha style. But a clear distinction between the top and the bottom, even though they're basically in the same fabric, but because of the midriff element. Then the way the top is connected, as well as the way it's kind of slit on the thighs, gives it that air quality, almost as though she tried to sew it up and didn't have time and just said, oh well. But for an air style, that looks great. And it's actually very sophisticated. And then another thing is the way that ornament is put on. You'll notice with a minimum of shine, because she's actually she doesn't really wear shine as one of her fabric qualities, but it still has a dressiness to it. And then right at her focal point across just the drop waist panel there's a different kind of ornamentation going on. And so that strengthens the focal point for her. So many things are just lovely. And then the ornamentation is kind of a soft ivory, almost a translucent kind of ornamentation, so that references the softness of her colors, it references her prime neutral. So it's just really a stunning outfit for her, but still very dressy. Here's another dressy short dress that does some interesting things. One is the softness, the sort of tuftedness of the texture. So many styles wear texture, but this tufted quality is especially amazing on an air style. And then a second thing that she's doing here is the layering of the fabric across the lower part of the waist, at the dropped waist. And that layering is an aspect of wearing texture. So it's really effective for her. And at the same time, it strengthens the focal point of just below her waist. It's just adorable for her. And then again, the color is a version of white, a soft white, so it sort of substitutes for ivory. This is one of my all-time favorite true natural dresses. I can't believe how many aspects of true natural are available or given in this outfit. And that's not only is that amazing, it's very sophisticated. So you might have had the idea from my description of true natural that, oh, this is the kind of style that only wears sportswear or, swimming suits or something. But the truth is, it can do any level it can do any look and extremely sophisticated. And you can see that this is very sophisticated. So just let me walk you through all of the many things that you're seeing in this amazing outfit. So starting at the neckline there, the earrings are great for her, and the ivory in the collar lightens the outfit for her, which is great for her coloring. But the first style aspect that you're going to see is the little bit of fur on one side and not on the other. So there, right off the bat, we're starting with side-to-side differentiation. And that is continued in the sleeve. And you can see that one sleeve is longer than the other sleeve and of different fabrics. So cool to see that really strong side-to-side differentiation. And then it has the two different prints that continue down the torso, and again, side to side. Now, if you'll look at the ornamentation that's on the sleeve, and you'll notice there's a similar kind of ornamentation at the bottom of the tunic in where it's joined, and also in the skirt, so you have rhythm of ornament. Another thing is that normally you would want to see a very narrow belt on this outfit. And in fact, the sort of beading that you see at the top of the belt is at her true waist. And it kind of supplies the narrowness, because by wearing this soft belt that wraps around in layers, again, the texture aspect of layers, she's strengthening below the waist with the styling. And that's excellent for her, because that's where her focal point is, below the waist. Notice the way that the bottom of the tunic looks sort of unfinished and sort of so relaxed. There's the air quality of her style again. And then the skirt is also side-to-side differentiation. And because the skirt is a separate fabric, both from the part of the top that's black and the part that's the tunic, again side to side, and then the tunic is longer on one side than the other, side to side again, and then the multiple bracelets, which is an aspect of her coloring, is fantastic for her. The whole outfit is so true natural, such an elegant and refined example of a true natural style. She's doing about 80% of the things, and you probably, I don't know if you realize, but 80% is phenomenally high because it's so hard to find your style. So this is just an adorable outfit. And again, notice how alpha it is. It's so cute. So that's, I love to finish on this really strong example of the true natural style on Arlenis Sosa Pena. It's just beautiful. And again, I'd like to tell you, as I always do, how much fun it is for me to share my work with you, because you might guess I've been working on this for a very long time, and I have. But this one, it just makes it all so much fun when you see it in action. If you'd like to know more about style in general, you can come to my website, theartofdress.com. And you can also not only read about style in general, but you can find out about your style. So there's a quiz. You can take the quiz, it's free. And then you can read about your style, your artistry, your coloring. And of course, I will be continuing my series for quite a long time, I guess, and until I'm finished telling you everything I know. And so I invite you to come back and join me. Thank you again.